Hello, folks. Welcome back to Earworms, or welcome for the first time. And if it is your first time, anyway, I'm your host, Dr. Lawrence W. Mira. I mean, the fucking doctoral degree has nothing to do with anything. All right, whatever. I'm used to doing tutorials, folks. Anyway, tonight we're doing Babylon 5, A Voice in the Wilderness, Part 2. This is the episode where the Great Machine on Epsilon 3 makes its presence known, and we get a new occupant of the Great Machine and begin to receive some bits of information about its mystery. One of those things that we'll be speculating about tonight because we're sci-fi people. We love this sort of thing. Who made it to begin with? Why is it there? What is the purpose? And all that stuff. And it's interesting to explore. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to introduce our panelists. My good lady wife first. All right, lady, you staying warm over there in your studio?
Yep. For now.
Okay, that's good. Are the kitties with you? Are we going to get some cat cam tonight?
But they may start scratching on the door and I'll have to let them in. And so
Okay, yeah,
maybe later.
maybe. All right,
Yeah.
we know everyone's pretty much chilly out there. How's it in the UK from our UK folks? I guess we can find out right now from this gentleman who is not only an elf, a British elf. He's also a great archer as well as a weatherman. Here we go. Hello, sir.
Weatherman, are you saying I'm Bob Iger?
I don't know. You mean whether he's a man or whether he's
No, wasn't it? Was he originally? Didn't he come up by being a weather presenter? I thought.
I wouldn't be
Bob
surprised at
Iger used
all.
to be was originally
They always have to
weatherman.
have
I thought.
some sort of like cover story or cover gig for their
Origin story.
yeah, origin
story.
story for those who get planted there. Yeah. All right. Well, how are you doing in the UK? Is it chilly over there as well?
It's coldish and it's damp. And
Yeah.
horrible.
Okay.
But it's February.
Yeah.
Lord help us. It's actually 2 days in February here.
Oh,
you're only 1 day to February. Well, you're only on 1 day to February there, but it's gone midnight here, so it's maybe it's just suddenly turned into February. Lord knows where the year's gone already.
Yeah.
Told you he's a weatherman, folks. There we go. Now we're gonna bring on our good friend, Magic Mike Mountain Hawk Gorley. Please go to the link in the description and check out his channel for some great music. How you doing, sir?
Thank you very much.
Well,
good evening to you, Mr. Swappers.
Yes, we're in great company.
Yes.
Swapper's still going out there. Yeah, we're working on, well, he's working on the Star Wars Retold thing. Just a slight little bump in the road there with dealing with some billing and some possible hackery at the site he was using for some of his production.
Yeah, gosh.
But tomorrow, I promise Swappers, I'm gonna take a whack at some things and see if there's any way I can help out in a little bit. But we'll see. We're not going to say anything until we figure out.
Yes, Archer, that is my music.
Oh, yes, nice. I'll have to try and get hold of it somewhere.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel, link in the description.
Ah.
All right.
It just it never occurred to me to ask. I know you guys are all music, and it's never occurred to me to ask, is that Mike's? It
Yeah,
even
I
looks
know.
like an album. Is that Mike's actual music? Because I quite like that sort of nice, relaxing
No,
panpipe
I
music.
just put some of my own music there right on top. No, just kidding. All right, here we go. Last of our panel, but not at all least. Please do not underestimate those furry white things out there.
One rabbit suit coming right up. Look! Jesus Christ! I warned you.
There he is. Okay, we are complete. Welcome aboard Istophobos.
Hello. You know, it's funny. It never occurred to me that that wasn't Mike's music because, like, no, I mean, we all know each other. It's like, of course, it would not be. Like, but I understand people in the chat might not realize that.
No, I mean, it's, I don't know. It's one of those things where media is coming at you everywhere. You're just used to hearing things, you know, especially on streams and stuff. And then it's almost
Yes.
like, oh, wait a minute. That's right. He writes music. Maybe he did that. You know, it's one of those things. All right. Enough of that. Let's talk Babylon 5. Let's see here. But yeah,
Yeah,
great music. Do check it out, folks.
Aren't you going to ask me about my avatar?
Let me look at it here.
Is that
Zoom
Lita
in.
Alexander? I can't tell.
Let's make you bigger here.
Oh.
I'm trying. I'm not as swift as Mr. Brown is when it comes to StreamYard. Maybe if I do that, I mean, no, then it gives me. Come on. All right, come on. I'm trying to make it big. I guess let's be happy with that. That's pretty big.
I could give up. Wait, don't you just click on my thing and then press the solo button?
Oh, that's right. There's a little icon there. Never
yeah.
mind. There we go.
There we
Look
go.
at that.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it is. I was reminded, like a lot of people may not know, in the late 90s, she got married to actor Jeffrey Willerth, I think is how you say it. And he was the guy in the Kosh suit.
Oh wow!
What? Whoa, okay.
Yeah, she's married to Kosh. I think there was an article on it in this picture.
That's cute.
Well,
Aw.
we just recently saw the episode where she was upset with the new Kosh for pulling out so quickly.
Wait, we shouldn't even be close to the new Kosh.
Okay, never. I'm talking.
Spoilers.
We watch stuff.
Spoilers for 40-year-old series.
Well, we need to give people some spoilers so they become interested and go watch it on Tubi.
Yep. If you have not checked out Babylon 5, that which we are talking about, we are still in season 1. We're toward the end of the season, though, here in A Voice in the Wilderness, but it is available on Tubi. Now, I know it changes around the country. I don't know if it's on Tubi for the Brits, but in the U.S. it is. Because
If you haven't watched it, why not, and why you're watching this stream?
Yeah, and since it's Tubi and don't have to pay, just use a VPN, you know, if you got to.
Yeah, we are definitely wrapping up to the whole accelerated season enders here.
Yeah, a two-parter.
Yeah, and then we have, you know, the pre-penultimate, the penultimate, and the finale, and it just doesn't stop up at this point, man.
No, it doesn't let up. Well, here's where we're actually starting. At the end of part 1, that's when a ship comes through the jump gate, and it ends right there, to be continued. And back in the day, you'd have to wait a week. But nowadays, you can binge watch on Tubi. But anyway, this is what came through the jump gate. Sorry if it's a little blurry, but I go frame by frame and look for the clearest I can find. But unfortunately, it is a little blurry, kind of fast motion going on there. And this is, we're going to find out, an Earth Alliance heavy cruiser. And we'll encounter the captain in just a moment. But I like the design of this ship, to be honest with you guys. a lot of the Earth ships, are looking like the what is the Russian vessel in 2010?
The
Uliana.
Leonov.
Yeah, the
Leonov, yeah.
Yeah.
supposed to be called the Titov, but he fell out of favor.
Well, we're the only ones that still have to use centrifugal spinning sections for gravity.
Yeah.
So
Also
there's
said,
going to be a design commonality in all of them.
But this one, it's smaller. Go ahead, Colin.
I was going to say I don't, because I'll say exactly that on Issa's point. That if I remember what, this one I think doesn't actually have, or doesn't appear to have artificial gravity. I don't think it's got the spinning midsections, despite what appears to be sticking out.
Maybe at the end, that could be a spinning section. I don't know. It moves so quick.
Because I seem to recall on that one, when we see the captain, we actually see he's actually got belts on, as if he's strapped into his seat, which would make sense if it's a 0G vessel.
Oh, we'll look for those belts. He's coming up, sure, right here. Now, Garibaldi's the one in CNC who's got the notification, and he's like, oh, what's going on here? And then, that's when I find out it's an Earth Alliance ship. Yeah, go ahead.
The Hyperion doesn't have the rotating sections because it limits the combat effectiveness of the ships. And because this was a heavy cruiser designed for getting in the thick of it, they eschewed the artificial gravity in favor of combat readiness and effectiveness.
So they did have artificial gravity.
No, they just did. Well, they would if they were accelerating.
If they were Minbari, they'd have like
no, they didn't have the fancy kind. When you're accelerating forward, you're going to be pushed toward the back of the ship. But they just chose to do without the gravity in favor of combat effectiveness.
All righty. Now, this actor, I think it's Don or Ron Canada. I think it's Ron Canada.
Ron Canada, yeah.
Yeah, he's coming up soon, his credit listing. But he also played in Deep Space Nine this Klingon attorney that was investigating Worf. Well, he had an axe to grind.
All right.
Yes. Just a little forehead bumps and a goatee.
He's a little type. Whenever you see this dude, it's not like a happy day. He's always typecast as a very antagonistic person.
Yes. But that was in Deep Space Nine when Warp blew up his ship and it was questioned why and all that. I forget. I don't know episode names, folks.
Yeah. Oh, you mean that pale imitation of this show?
Oh.
Yeah. I keep getting this gentleman confused with if you remember the actor that played the head of the President's Secret Service detail in the West Wing. And I keep thinking his name's Ron Canada, and it's not, because this gentleman's Ron Canada. And for some reason, every time I see the name Ron Canada, I expect it to be him. And I can't remember off the top of my head what his name actually is. But, weird.
Well, one of those people that has a country name as a surname, kind of like Kathy Ireland.
Yep.
But anyway, can't come up with other names right at the moment. Is there?
The head of the Secret Service in the West Wing was looked nothing like this guy.
I know it's a completely different actor. I'm saying that. But
that was Michael O'Neill. But
right, yes, thank you.
You ever get those name associations that don't make sense?
I have no idea why. Every time I see that, I think that's him, not this gentleman.
Well, Ron Butterfield was the character name, so.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you just.
Well, we want to say thanks for being here to some channel members like Flav.
This man commands a quack legion. They wax as high as any in Rome.
And of course, Scott Hovitt down there, probably in the negative 30s and negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a real weenie shrinker up there where he's at.
Eat my shorts.
So,
yeah, it's cold enough in the South, man. It was like 19 degrees.
Yeah, we're in North Florida. We're going to be in the 20s tonight, like
21
last night.
Tonight. Yuck.
Yeah, I got to fill up the bathtub to make sure I get like 2 flushes tonight in case
I saw snow fall falling down for the first time in my life yesterday. And it happened in my front yard. I would have never expected that. Never. Ever. In Florida, that's where I saw the snow falling down. In my front yard. Weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Horrible.
trust you
It's
that it's a miracle. Yeah, I'm
horrible.
originally from Pennsylvania, but I picked up this Miami girl, so there we go. So anyway, let's get back to Ron Canada here, who and yeah, the slide controls cover up the subtitles here. So anyway, he's not a happy camper. He rolls in and tells, Garibaldi's like, what's this guy all about? Wow. And basically it's something for Sinclair to have to deal with later, but it is a cool ship. And since they don't have a rotating section, they're not as bulky. They got some firepower on there. They do have fighters as well that they release later, because there's some combat coming up, folks. All right. And basically most of the intro was last week on Babylon 5. And so that's the little bit there at the end that concluded last week. And we're here post credits, getting the title and then the credits of the cast additions. Guest starring once again Louis Turenne, who plays Draal in this episode, and later he's Brother Theo, who has a number of monks that he presides over as Chief Monk, Sergeant Monk, Colonel Monk, I don't know, something like that. What do they call them? Yeah, he's not quite a bishop, otherwise he'd be called.
Looks like he said he's still brother rather than father, isn't he? So
Ron Canada, yes, is playing Pierce, right? My controls are covering up the actual name of the character, but Captain something Pierce, I believe, on the Hyperion. Yes. Right. And then we have Kurt Lowens, once again, I guess, is playing what? Varn? Not to be confused with Vern from Ernest. All right, there we go. So there he is. There is Varn. He was the occupant of the Great Machine that was rescued last time amongst the earthquakes. And to them, he's still a bit of a mystery, but they have some ideas like that somehow the quakes on the planet have something to do with his decline health-wise, but they basically find out the answers pretty shortly. But right now, Sinclair has other things to handle. He is basically on the video phone here with the Hyperion, right? Or no, he gets the word from Garibaldi. Yeah, he gets the word from Garibaldi. And the situation is basically they're coming in to kind of like handle the situation, take it over. So here's Pierce. He comes aboard and he's happy to be there. It's got all the comforts of a good stay for his people on the Hyperion. But they're not going to get too much downtime. But in any case, he's here announcing that we were called in, and Earth has basically given me jurisdiction over this conflict. And Sinclair is kind of fighting that a little bit. He's like, we were trying to handle this situation quietly, and then you come in with these major guns. Now every alien government's going to be wondering what the heck's going on here. It basically calls attention to the mystery found on the planet. Right now, pretty much other than Delenn and Molari, most of the rest of the alien governments don't know much about it or anything. But Molari's curious, and now it's going to make everyone curious with this guy coming in with all the big guns. So, anybody have anything to say?
I don't like him.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. I just love how, Sinclair can never catch a break. It's always raining. There's always storms on top of the rain, and then always lightning and thunder. And
all I want to say is,
I think Sinclair handles him pretty well, though.
Yeah, he
I
does.
like that look. Like,
Yeah.
up your ass. I got this.
All I can
Yeah.
say is with those shoulder pads, he should be in Dynasty or Dallas.
Um,
Jeez.
Well,
Thank
one
you.
of the things I find interesting is this is before the change in presidential. This is the Santiago administration. It's supposed to be better than the Clark, but they still seem like a shoot first, ask questions later kind of political administration. Their answer is always just to send guns.
Yeah. I guess the whole thing was that ticket. Remember, Ivanova was talking about Crane was who she was voting for way back in episode 1. So it looks like, any president like Santiago, who's considered to be, and he was, well, it didn't happen yet, so I can't say. No spoilers. But anyway, yeah, his vice president and him probably were aligned in some things, at least politically, to be on the same ticket.
What's the complaint that Santiago had a weak chin?
Yeah.
Santiago, she said,
Well-
had a weak chin.
But Clark had several.
Yeah, oh, yes,
Uh,
yeah.
Well, Earth is still so amazingly outclassed in terms of technology and
Yeah.
ships and fighting, but somebody must be doing a number on the politicians of Earth because, boy, they have sort of an outsized estimation of their combat capabilities,
Mhm.
which is funny because
Yeah.
it's only been 10 years since they almost were completely wiped out by the Minbari, but
Well-
you can definitely see Earth getting a little big for their britches. A single Minbari cruiser could take out 10 of those Hyperions without even, taking a breath.
Well, they had a boost of confidence by handling a minor league team known as the Dilgar,
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't remember the deal go,
but just barely,
it does make one think. How long does it take to actually build a warship like the Hyperion or the others? Because if most of them were wiped out in the Earth Minbari War, and it's been 10 years, it does kind of make you sort of wonder what their production rates are like.
Well, I mean, it seems realistic. It's not like you even really need to calculate it, but it's like seems realistic because you hear some repeated names throughout the series of the Earth Alliance heavy ships. They're capital ships. They don't seem to be too numerous.
Yeah, the canon was it took 2 to 3 years to build like a heavy warship.
Right, thanks. Cheers, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was going to say, I know that you said that. I know the liner Asimov docked several times throughout the series.
And there's the Churchill. And, well, the Churchill got destroyed, right? Yeah. Well, not yet. Not yet. Spoilers.
I'm pretty certain the Asimov is the big round green ship used to trading ship that comes in every so often. Freighter, that's what I'm saying.
We want to give a special shout out here to Jay Goodwin. Many of you do know that he does do some work as a ruler in the system of Mongo, but he has another job that he does. He does some moonlighting as this guy as well. Yes, he'll make ladies pass out.
Yeah, it's too bad he got involved in Starfleet Academy.
He moonlights as Tim Curry.
What? Well, hold on. What? Starfleet Academy.
Yes, the guy who played the devil also got
Tim
involved
Curry?
in the series Starfleet Academy.
Tim Curry?
The guy from Lady in the Water, right?
No. Those
Oh.
are different actors. Tim
Different
Curry.
actor, sorry.
Yeah.
My brain is not working.
Who's
too cold.
the guy from Lady in the Water?
I forgot his name.
Don't even know the film.
Yeah, it's an M. Night Shyamalan film,
Oh.
but wow, yeah, they're different. Um,
Well, Jay
but we
Goodwin responds, "You have no idea how many times I've wanted to enter a meeting like darkness coming through the mirror, complete with tangerine dream music."
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. I
Oh,
remember when we did Legend a little over a year ago, and that was fun, man.
oh, thank you. I love Goodwin. I was about to say, do you mean Robert Ricardo? And Goodwin
Oh,
just
Robert Picardo. Yeah,
kindly
Tim
confirmed
Curry,
for me.
Robert Picardo. I mean, yeah, they're, you know.
Robert Ricardo was in. Oh, he's in. Oh, Ricardo was in Legend. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
briefly as Mag or
As
Meg,
Meg, the swamp
Knucklebones
witch.
or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, Swamp Witch.
Hmm.
Well, anyway, let's move along. Everybody's, got their gigs if you want to work
Wait a
as an
minute.
actor.
Talking of Star Trek Academy, is that a Klingon?
I was thinking that too. Um,
Or is it one of the aliens from Battlefield Earth? Sorry, no.
oh yeah, I've seen that.
Oh,
Oh man,
that's two
that
people. That's two people I know who will admit to having seen it.
it was no, it was recommended as something that touched one of the subjects I was interested in. Potential with the Anunnaki and all that. And when
Oh,
Liza and I saw it, we were kind of disappointed. But it's like it could have been good.
I've
The
read
idea was
the
nice.
book.
Oh, but anyway,
I see that.
we have Garibaldi's here. He has a loved one on Mars, going through this this crackdown on Mars, where basically the freedom fighters did some activities that are not so good, and the Earth Alliance is really trying to lower the hammer on them. And a Klingon walks into a bar here next to Garibaldi, and he overhears this guy mouthing off about what should happen to Marcy's and stuff like that. And, it's one of those things where whenever there's a war going on, even if you do prefer, one side over the other and stuff like that, it's usually not good form to treat it like a football game. No, it is a
Not at
war.
all.
And just talking like this gets Garibaldi all pissed off. He's like, hey, they're humans too, And even though there's political stuff involved, but he comes over and he starts playing a magic trick on him, which is pretty much running his head into the table. So there we go. And he looks over at the friends, and pretty much they're like, decide not to do anything because this guy looks a little unhinged. Hey man, I was dressed like that in the 90s too.
Really?
Yeah, why do they call them Marsies instead of Martians?
That's a good question.
Uh-huh.
We've always called inhabitants of Mars Martians. Why are we calling them Marsies?
Possibly because Martians would refer to a native species to Mars. As a thought,
natives as opposed to colonizers.
Because did any of you ever see the there was
okay.
Ray Bradbury series. I can't remember whether it was set on Mars with and at one point it's about human colonization of Mars, and at one point you've got the father, he says, do you want to see a Martian? And he looks in, and they make him look in the mirror because the humans have taken over from the Martians. And I can't remember what the series was. It's an old series. It was based on Ray Bradbury's books.
The Martian Chronicles.
The Martian Chronicles, thank you.
Yeah.
I think canonically Mars did not have native inhabitants in the B5.
No, I don't think it did.
No, not in B5, no.
Yeah.
So, I don't think my favorite Martian counts. That's different universe.
But you mean there's no Deja Thoris in Otar's Tolcast in the Babylon 5 universe? Now I'm disappointed.
Well, I think we'll get over it. Let us move on here. And what do we have here? Yeah, basically does magic trick, a bunch of tough. I mean, he's got the style. Jerry Doyle did a great job with the character overall. But in things like this, you got the style that he was kind of unhinged. not completely off his rocker, but kind of unhinged.
Be right back, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
I I
That's
think living on the edge is the appropriate term to describe a character like him. On the edge.
yeah. All right, there we go. Maybe not fringe, edge. All right, we're back in Sinclair's quarters, and he receives a call. He's talking to Hiroshi, Senator Hiroshi, who is one of his contacts in the Senate, and he wants to know about this whole authority thing. And basically, the senator does everything you would expect from like a politician in office or not in office. Really, it's like avoid it. Like there's no clear answer, and no, I'm not going to try and get you one either. There's a lot going on here. Maybe later, we could get shared sort of authority, but for now, he kind of, I guess, does have authority, but it's one of those things where it's like they don't want to necessarily clarify things so great, and it probably is out of his jurisdiction. It's just he doesn't want to try and get the president to do anything about it, make a clear decision or define it better. He just rather just leave it alone and just see what happens, and later we'll just blame people appropriately. That's it.
Shame politics hasn't changed much in 250 years, then, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And Sinclair's not exactly happy, but he's got a, he was arguing throughout the conversation, but it's like, you know, you're not going to get anything out of it. So you basically see that he's got to navigate this where it seems to be a gray area, but there's two guys that want to be in charge here, and Sinclair actually has the information. The other guy just wants to shoot at stuff. And he's going to get his chance. But they're saying something happening to Epsilon 3 first. We got to handle this problem first. Basically, seismic activity, and the core seems to be breaking down. Um, uh, or maybe not breaking down, but there's like quakes near the core. Basically, major shall we say, epsilon changes going on. And so, it looks like it basically, if this continues, it's going to break apart. And that means, of course, their position is in danger because it could definitely rupture, maybe explode is what she's saying. And so, they're definitely within blast range, and there's nowhere they can go. The Hyperion can leave, but Babylon 5 cannot. So that's what's happening there. And basically the ships from the Hyperion were going down to try and investigate things without even talking to Sinclair first, and basically just wanting to handle things on their own and not even do any checks on, they feel they have all the data they need. In other words, they don't need to talk it over or anything. But basically, they end up retreating because there's a defense system active and they're having trouble with that. And plus, all the geo changes, it's not something you want to land on. But the idea is that Sinclair has to be quick on his feet, and he kind of makes up something, saying that there's a jamming device, that you need to get through the defenses. And Ivanova reminds him there's no such thing. And he's like, that'll slow them down, at least get them to lay off a bit. But, it's not a good situation because they know that planet. They don't know clearly yet the importance of the person that is on the planet in the Great Machine, so to speak. But they do know things are going haywire right now, and they may have to evacuate the station. And that's the main thing she's saying here. There's nowhere for us to go. So that's the end of slide book 1. 4 more to go. Anybody want to keep me from being the only person talking, or
Wouldn't think about it.
I think it's a very good tense setup. It's that you certainly sort of said that the military comes in and thinks he knows everything.
Well, they are military too, and
Oh
that's the
yeah,
whole thing. He's a
yeah,
commander, the other guy's a captain, but the thing is, he's the commander of Babylon 5,
yeah.
so that is his jurisdiction. But the other guy got a call to come in, and seemed like that call gave him a whole bunch of power. And
I think he's a if I remember right, Sinclair's only a commander, but he's also the
Military governor.
Military governor.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like the characterization that it shows that Sinclair is not above lying to fellow officers
Yeah.
in order to diffuse a potentially volatile situation.
Like,
Yeah.
you would lying to save face. Well, I've heard that before.
Well, it's not just that. He's not just feeling like his toes are being stepped on. He's responsible for the station. This planet looks like it's going to blow up if everything continues as it's going right now. And he's got to deal with getting people off. And that's what this meeting's about here. He's talking to Garibaldi and Ivanova, getting all the information together. And it looks like, all right, we got to start evacuating the station little by little. We can't have a panic with people rushing and overwhelming their docking bays and stuff. They got to do it orderly, but they already did the calculations. It doesn't look like they can fully evacuate everyone, but they're going to try to evacuate as many as they can. You know, it just looks like it's going to blow up. And this guy ain't helping. If anything, he'll make it happen before they can evacuate anyone, you know? So he's really thinking about their lives and the lives of the people on the station.
Yeah,
And,
Sinclair's not really somebody who's ever worried about appearances or what something looks like. I just, he might have concern with somebody else if that was a priority for them, but he's a very practical guy. So,
yeah, critical mass, emphasis on the word critical. And, you know, they've got 250 million on the station.
I think that's not right.
No,
It's
250,000.
250,000.
Yes.
250,000 humans and aliens.
Yeah, right. Sorry, 250,000.
Yeah, it would be very crowded.
Yeah. A small nation.
Yeah, that would be like how many? Like about 3 to 4 UKs.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's only 5 miles long, the station.
Yeah. Very small
Down below
aliens.
would get real whiffy.
Yeah, and they built it in 2 years. Look, it's already been a year, and California's only rebuilt 7 houses. So,
Okay, so any important details here? I'm checking. That's why I left this in, to make sure on the spot I don't. Yeah, 18 hours. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen even what they got. But yeah, he says go ahead, try to start evacuating as many as you can, slowly and quietly, you know. And Ivanova once again reminds us she's Russian, which doesn't mean that she's in a hurry, but yeah, she tends to be a bit on the pessimistic side. And you know, they're used to unwinnable situations, I guess, so to speak. Yeah, and he gives her a look. A lot of face acting in this. Now, Londo comes out, and he's telling Ivanova, you've been holding back on me. There's stuff going on here, and, you know, he wants to know. And basically, he doesn't know the gravity of the situation, but she does, and she's about to let him in on a bit of a secret here, subtly. And we do have our first video clip of the day. Here we go.
Yes, absolutely. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Have a nice day.
I have another one to add to my collection here. Where
Boom. Sooner or later. Boom.
yeah, and then we have
No boom today. Boom tomorrow. There's always a boom tomorrow.
Yes, so we have all our booms from
Are
Ivanova.
you suggesting that Susan Ivana was a boomer?
I don't know about a boomer, but
Sorry.
she likes her booms. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get back to my room.
Oh, Goodwin, that you saying that reminds me. I don't know if anyone called you. I was watching. I've just come up in my feed the other day. Peter Jurasik being interviewed on another channel. He was saying he's Sci-Fi Guys or something, I think it was called. But he was saying about the hair. He was saying apparently, he and Stephen first got on to a lot of had a lot of fun at the show, and apparently when they turned up for makeup trials or something, their hair was originally supposed to be short, like we see Cartage's later on, but for a joke, they went in with this really big hair. And JMS turned, thinking they were thinking a joke. I'm going to cut. And JMS said, "No, I like it. Keep it." So he had to go through 5 seasons with his massive great crown on his head, which is his joke backfiring on him to make that iconic hairstyle.
But it works because it looks like imperial, from a regime where. Yeah, go ahead.
They even. As with several other things in this, they even actually reverse meta, if you like. They bring in something from the real world, and they write it into the story. Because they write a lot later on, if you remember. I mean, it's not the major one. They make a joke, make a point of a very high ranking the emperor having had really short hair. And that being quite shocking for someone as high up as the emperor to have short hair. So they kind of turned it around a bit, and they brought that into they brought that difference actually into the storyline, which is something they did quite a bit.
I have no idea what you just said. It's Cartagia purposely wore short hair to inflame and infuriate everybody because it's not the standard for the imperial.
And also,
I don't get how that relates to real life or what they.
What I'm saying is they originally they were all supposed to have the short hair.
Yeah, and they changed it.
They changed it, but they brought the fact of the hair change in as maybe.
Remember, as Justin said, who decides if the hemlines are going to be long this year or higher? I'm with that department, or I'm with them, a different department.
I think you're overthinking it a bit. I don't think they brought it back in. They just had him cut his hair short because he wanted to piss off the court.
And he wanted to walk amongst the people, so the average citizens and not be. It gave him a flavor of being somebody that maybe liked the seedy side of things, especially with Molari said. His last memory of him was looking up the skirts of, of noble women and stuff. But anyway, Molari lets her go knowing, that he's not exactly happy about it. You can never get a straight answer around here, but
except he got one.
Exactly what.
He got a very straight answer.
He didn't realize how straight she was being. All right, and there we go. This guy's still on, life support, so to speak. And then, but he's there in Med Lab, and Delenn and her mentor, Draal, are walking around, and Draal gets a bit of a feeling. He hears voices, and he thinks it's coming this way, from this way, but it's actually mental, but he's getting the voices. Before last week, we had Sinclair getting a vision of this Varn. We had Molari getting a vision of this Varn. So 3 people now have had visions or telepathic messages, something. But back in his suite, Garibaldi's a bit nervous and all that. Sinclair decides to drop by, pay him a visit, and says, I heard about what happened down there. They didn't press charges, but they could have. And, they're friends, so Garibaldi confides in him. It's like, I know I shouldn't have done anything, but you should have heard this guy talk. And he wasn't, treating Mars people like they were humans or anything. It was just, yeah, I think anybody would have been pissed off with him. But in any case, Garibaldi knows that he was a bit out of line, but at the same time, he's got a lot on his mind because he's got a loved one there. And they talk a little bit of that and gives you a little more insight. And you know that basically Garibaldi's in the situation where, yeah, he left her at the time because he felt he needed this gig, and they got into a fight over her not joining him. And then, over time, he realizes, I guess, that he does love her, but he's equally paralyzed by the thought of calling her and finding out that she's, it's over. She doesn't want to speak to him again, as well as finding out that she would like to give it another chance again because he doesn't know if he's ready for it. So he's basically been kind of hovering in indecision and has grown comfortable with, basically not finding out an answer to his questions that are burning inside because he doesn't know how to handle either outcome, which I think is pretty cool. It's shall we say, I guess a deeper situation in the relationship than a lot of stories would do. It's one of those things where it's about real life. It's kind of like a little bit more complex, though, because it's, that tendency to just like, I prefer to not know. That way I can kind of remember her without doing anything about it, Isn't that right there, Colin?
It is. I just, I just had a thought that just occurred to me about this, this whole Mars thing. It's something that I coming from an outsider. Did you folks on your side of the pond, do you see any sort of parallel there, perhaps between Earth and Mars, and something going on about the same time that the Great Machine was being built between Britain and America in the 1700s? Just literally just occurred to me that
it's every single colony goes through this same thing. It's like they hadn't learned anything in the intervening hundreds of years, that no matter what, when you start a colony, eventually they're going to want their own independence. So it would be better to have that function built into the charter from the beginning, but they didn't do that. But I don't think this is supposed to be allegorical. But back when this show debuted, the critics had a field day making fun of the haircuts and the costumes and all the silly shit. They really, they really changed their mind after a couple years. And one of the reasons that makes this show so compelling is the extra layers of characterization they're willing to go through. Like you were talking about, it really is deeper. Nothing's cut and dry. Everyone has their heroes and villains arcs. It's just, even comparing this to that, there's some kind of show that ripped this off going on at the same time. I don't even remember the name. Like, those characters didn't have anywhere near the depth of the characters on Babylon 5. I just don't even think they're comparable.
Can you imagine almost any show produced in the last 10 years actually fitting the tagline, nobody here is exactly what they seem? I mean, this is...
because everybody is a stereo archetype of the single characteristic that the writers are trying to use to make a very unsubtle point with their bludgeoning sledgehammer. Because nobody knows how to write anymore, or at least no one in Hollywood.
But in any case, Sinclair also promises him that I'll get you a clear channel. So it's something I guess he didn't want to ask him for, because he's a friend and you don't want to ask too many people, for too many things. But wait,
I answered Archer's question incorrectly. I can totally see the line, nobody's here is what they seem, because They're all non-binary or trans or
Yeah, yeah.
or
That
pansexual.
that briefly passed through my mind. I decided to let that go.
Yeah.
I
No,
can
I
never.
guess,
I can't pass up a chance to take a
but
shot
that
at the
has
woke.
to do more with the writing. It's not that we don't want trans people to be in stories. It's
You
just
don't-
like every single one all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
look, you're overdoing it.
You don't be you don't be talking to
And
Mega
you're
Geek
not
again.
giving
have you?
them a real character. You're not giving them a real, this person is more than that. Like, for example, Sinclair, Garibaldi's complex. He's not just a heterosexual man. There's more to him than that. And that's what you need to do with all the characters. So as we come back here to our Mimbari folks, they were led by Draal's, for him it was an aural sense, basically. He heard his name being called. He comes to Med Lab because he seems to feel it coming from that direction.
I'm gonna let that one pass. The oral.
AURAL. And here we go. We have our, what would you call that? Kind of like air.
Quarantine or decontamination or
Yeah.
air barrier.
Airlock.
Yeah, airlock.
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot the word airlock because we also use that in studios too, even though it's not really airtight.
Yeah, use it in
airlock.
dark rooms as well.
Yeah, so they're coming through the airlock. They got masks there because this Varn breathes a different atmosphere. But Stephen Franklin does not want them to come in because what the heck? He couldn't have called out to you. Couldn't have been him. No.
Yeah, he never wants anyone to come in though. He's always Frankie.
Yeah, he's mom. But then he gets a reaction from the patient, takes his eye off the ball there, and they come in with their masks, and then the patient interacts with them, basically saying, "Help me." And we get fragments here of basically the idea that, this planet is going to be destroyed and it's going to destroy you unless, we get someone back in the machine. But he basically trails off before making that clear. So it's something that comes up later. But you get the idea, you get the hints gradually, fed to you as it goes on there. And then what do we have here? What are they doing? Basically, the planet set to blow. And then my controls cover up the second line there. We got a
confirmation.
Yeah. So they have confirmation on that. But this guy doesn't trust the source because it's just some alien dude in Med Lab. He's like, yeah, well, he came from there, so he has reason to say things like that. It's basically the idea. Let me see here.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised Earth made it this far out into space if this was the prevailing attitude amongst their military and explorations arms. Because, boy, they like to act like they know everything. And reality is rarely that forgiving.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, folks, I apologize if I'm not quick with the comments, putting the chats up on screen because Liza's not here. Me multitasking is, well, at least in this stuff, it's not so smooth. But yeah, this guy doesn't want to care about that. He basically is going back down there, but Sinclair saying, okay, look, I'm not letting you go down there because you're just endangering our lives, the lives of the people on the station. And he's like, what are you going to do? Shoot me down? And he's like, well, if I have to. And so basically he even tells Ivanova, let's launch the fighters. And lo and behold, just to show that he's not bluffing, which the guy thinks he is, Pierce thinks he's bluffing. He actually does it. But that's the little clip there. Later we get a longer one of the fighters coming down, but that was too long. I'm doing the dance here, folks. If the if it's more than a certain amount of seconds, we'll get flagged. So I got to keep them short. So I can only do the short ones that don't show enough. So I don't know. Sorry.
It's
Go ahead.
another really good character moment for Sinclair. It's not enough. He's really responsible for 250,000 lives. It's not enough that his command says, you aren't responsible for that decision. This is something he really takes to heart, whether or not he would get the blame for it. And so you're buying into the guy's sincerity and seriousness in the whole thing, where I'm sure the other guy's more like, well, if command says it's not my responsibility, I'm happy to blame it on somebody else.
Yeah, well, he basically doesn't say anything in response to Sinclair, but Ivanova notices that, yeah, they're standing down. They don't release their fighters and whatever they were going to do to interfere with the planet. But I think we get a little surprise here. And this is Corwin. It's kind of cool. Different hairdo. I like him with this hairdo better, but yep. Becomes a regular on the in CNC later on. But there he is notifying you that guess what? There's more people coming to this party. And they come in and start blasting stuff at people. Basically, what you would call scanner rays, I believe. And we're at the end of our slides there. So let me load up the next one.
Yeah. Just a fun fact, I actually got an answer directly from J. Michael Straczynski on this because there is a famous fantasy science fiction character named Corwin from the golden age of science fiction and fantasy. And I asked him if Lieutenant Corwin was named after that. And he told me no, it was named after Norman Corwin. Well, I'll say that fast 5 times. A famous American writer and screenwriter. And I believe he was a friend and inspiration to Janus. So.
Is Corwin in the Amber Chronicles?
Yes. Yeah, he is the main guy in the Chronicles of Amber, the first 5 books. Correct.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, in any case, yeah, it's nice when they use character names to honor people that inspired them and everything. But we got here, glare and stuff.
Oh, it's the J.J. Abrams lens flares. They're watching Star Trek 2009. They can't handle it.
Yeah.
I've never understood the idea of lens flares.
But this is hey, it's a way to symbolize rays coming through. We're getting, our information banks read here. They're basically trying to learn our language and all that so they can communicate with us, I guess. You just kind of you get that impression, especially with these data banks. And I took a slide of each one just in case there's some hidden words here that might be interesting. Watch Karma, Angst, Draft. Some hidden meaning in that, I guess. Subject, more melancholy, uxorious?
Uxorious.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's the first lot was all 5 letters long.
Tesca, scaffold, TV. Yeah, this is pretty much non sequitur. TV does imprison you.
Exorius is a term to describe somebody who really, really loves their wife. It's a very odd word to put there.
Yeah. Hell, mutilate, support, erupt.
Suppose.
Okay, whatever. I don't know anything in here. I'll just move a little fast around.
Okay, yes.
These are all fictional computer AIs.
Except I spelled the first one wrong.
Yeah, Aurak is a C, right?
Yeah.
That's from Blake 7. Forbin is from the Fort Colossus. The Forbin Project.
Nomad is the original series, and Skynet is
Terminator.
Terminator, yeah.
Yep.
Cool beans. They're studying our movies. Baby Elephant. Baby Elephant Walk is Henry Mancini. But anyway. Zoom. Chickpea. Don't get that one, but Let's see here. Humble, squeeze, impress. Yeah, I didn't check beforehand. I just got all these just in case because I figured something would be hidden in here. Human metaphor, similar, large, the large, and now the large. That's Monty Python.
No.
So funny.
I
He
don't know,
always
metaphor.
finds a way to sneak Python in.
So do
Not that
they.
there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. Sourdough. Actually, we are doing sourdough bread a little bit now and then whenever we want some bread because it is a little healthier. Hardly immaculate. No.
McAuliffe. I wonder if
McAuliffe.
that's a reference to Krista McAuliffe, who was the teacher who died on the Challenger explosion.
Is that the spelling?
You know what? I'll look that up real quick.
I think it's MCC. I'm not sure, but could well be.
Yes, that is the spelling. 2 F's.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Oh, it's two F's and 1 C. Yeah,
Okay.
Krista McAuliffe. Yeah. So that's definitely a
Yeah.
a little honorific Easter egg in there.
Yeah, cool. Assert chocolate.
Okay, so you
special
can't. Okay,
rumor.
so it's a shame they can't spell properly.
Yeah, they can. It's
No,
just
they can't. It's American spelling.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got to put a U in color. Let's see. Whole, upbeat, blizzards, buzzards. No, buzzards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's known as the Dukes of Hazzard screen that they
Upbeat buzzards from the south. Sack. Ironsides epic. Okay. Some of it could be gelding, apathy, uniform, religion. Ooh. That one, yeah, you could find some deep meanings in, I guess, if you look at it long enough. Rubber, easy, stringy love.
Yeah, I don't know why that makes me think of Timothy Chalamet. I don't know.
Stringy love. Stringy love.
Jesus, how many of these have we got?
I don't, there can't be too many more.
Why-
Oh yeah, we're getting towards
quite
the
a
end. I
few,
remember
actually.
inability, close, middle. All right, and then AM, I guess, in radio. Utterus.
Yeah, it just could be the verb to exist. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, okay. Hold, and carriage.
Carriage.
But utero, it's not uterus. It doesn't. There's no O in that, unless it's British spelling of uterus.
No, but British doesn't have the O either.
Not, nod, receptive, copyright. Nod. He was in Deep Space Nine, or no,
What?
Nog.
So wasn't Nod the bad guys in the Command and Conquer games?
I do not know. A stringer, ligate, caught.
ligate,
Oh, ligate.
as
Or
in
ligate.
ligation. Yeah. Apparently, some people spell that with an OU, but it's certainly not the
Really?
standard spelling in either
No.
the UK or the US.
Weird. Whalebone.
That's
Oh,
from-
reference to Star Trek 4 there, I think.
Well, scrim is from Scrimshaw, also carvings on whalebone. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then to the right there. I mean, the screen at the right, I'm not sure what the displays are supposed to be, but
they're playing a game of asteroids, I think.
mutilate again, I think that's the second mutilate. Cannon and
Oh,
Web.
Another Star Trek reference: mutilate cannon. Same, they're all
Well, not
like
just Star Trek.
rest. Mm-hmm. Respite. It's
Respite.
hard because respite. Respite. I
respite.
guess. Yeah,
Floor,
floor
Cupris.
and curious. Hey,
No.
we're expanding our vocabulary here. At least.
It's Cupris, not curious, and it means a compound that contains copper.
Oh,
See,
that's a rather
Cupris?
cuprous coin there.
I think copper nickel, which is what coins are made of.
That's what you get when you have a relative who's a numismatist and you've had 4 years of graduate chemistry.
Oh, that's
Cool beans. So, is it official they've banned pennies now or stopped making them?
Yeah, they haven't banned. They're just not making any more since they cost 2 cents to produce. And any economist will tell you, at that point, you're basically giving away half your copper. So, although I don't think they've been made of copper, solid copper, for a long time.
But the thing is, well, maybe not solid copper, but there's enough in there that why can't then the penny be worth 2 cents? He'll just make the dollar worth more, wouldn't it?
That would be inflationary. That would be disastrous. Like, you can't just arbitrarily change the value of currency. That doesn't work.
It wouldn't be arbitrary. Instead of being the gold standard, it'd be like the penny standard. It's like, it's worth what it's fucking worth. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, if you can find somebody to sell them to, it's worth that. Things are only worth what other people are willing to pay for.
That's true. Well,
see, I think they should use pennies to build houses. You could make a house out of pennies.
Well, in the meantime, we can free prime Frank Scrim.
Oh, that's twice for Scrim.
Yeah, there's several words have been there twice. I noticed.
Yeah.
Man,
main plaintiff suspicious. Sounds like the new in a CSI spinoff. Welcome to CSI, main plaintiff suspicious.
Scribble dichotomy, Adam Trigger. Oh man, this is Cricket modified. This is the last one. I remember the last one was Cricket at the top. Is it the game or the insect? Modify unreal fauna.
Well, it's not the aliens because that's spelt with K's and I's.
Yeah, well.
Well, we don't know, but either way, I think whether that's the insect or the game, I don't think these aliens are going to be talking about it right now, so they don't need that word. Maybe they'll talk about scrimming whale bones. Who knows? Well, anyway, they do come on, and basically they present themselves as having watched for this signal for over 500 years, and they say they're the last of their kind, and this is their planet. Now that they received this signal, they're coming back to take residence, and nobody should get in their way. We don't want to kill you, but we will if you interfere with what we're doing.
500 years you've watched for that. Your eyes must be tired, dude.
Yeah, I don't like this guy either.
Yeah.
The actor playing this guy, I could tell from the voice, this is the same actor that plays. There's one actor that played a lot of the aliens, who was not credited, at least not credited in the opening. He did like the Drazi Green Leader. He did a Markhab at some point. He did this guy. He did a Narn. He did all sorts of. There's like this one of the alien guys that gets annoying. It's always played by this guy.
Yeah, there were two talks. Ardwright Chamberlain, I think, was one of them because he played Kosh, the voice of Kosh, and others. Which one I remember?
But anyway, yes. So I don't know his name, but I recognize him because it's like, oh, it's that Drazi Green Leader again.
Yeah, the voice of Kosh was not the guy in the suit, but I think is that Kim Strauss?
Could be. The name sounds vaguely familiar.
He did a lot. Like the main guy for like all of the Christopher Heyerdahl is really famous for doing that from all the Vancouver sci-fi shows and Star Trek. But he's really tall, so
yeah.
But yeah, Kim Strauss played the Drazi Green Leader.
Yeah, I guess it would be him then, because he also played a Mark Hat. Like I said, it's just a string of them and some Narns sometimes, but it's usually like somebody that's annoying,
Yeah,
unfortunately for him.
he has 14 Babylon 5 credits.
Wow.
Wow.
Narn pilot, Markab ambassador, Drazi ambassador, Vizak, Narn, Lenon, Jalorn, and all the others were Drazi ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was an ensign on Points of Departure. So,
Well, here
yeah.
we go. Oh, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, listen, man. These guys spent 8 hours in a freaking makeup chair. I can barely spend 8 minutes in one to get a haircut. There's definitely a skill there, I think,
yeah.
to be able to.
Yeah.
And I don't have it, so.
Well, and especially then, like Andreas Katsouris, to do the acting that he did for Jakar was, just amazing. And then I saw a video the other day on Jakar and Molari, and just how they were eating the scenery basically. They did magnificent acting jobs. Oh man. Open channel.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on here? Okay, basically they're like, all right, they're trying to figure out this guy, but no sooner does the one guy stop that Earth's, champion has to, chime in here, and he's basically responding to these guys. Okay, you gave us 8 hours or 7 hours, whatever. He basically raises the time in the time limit to the ultimatum by 1 hour, and says or he subtracts 1 hour from it and says something like, you got 6 hours to get back to us, because if you do anything without our permission, we're going after you because we own this. And it's like, oh, great.
I've got an Archer Collin joke. I thought Earth's champion was Walker Smith.
Only in sports. Only in the, what do you call that? The
Mutai.
Oh, Muta. I was going to say Thai.
One of the episodes I skipped because.
Well, no, he was Earth's champion before. That's how he became famous, and then went out to compete in there. But I wouldn't call that dude Earth's champion. He's just sort of a military annoyance.
And this is what Ivanova thinks of our stream.
It's sad that these days, that after the past 10 years or so, that sounds really, oh no, not. Please tell me that they weren't being like that back then, but they weren't.
No, those guys were really basically like, especially when he comes back with just like, okay, I'm going to subtract 1 hour from your ultimatum and just give you another one. It's like, okay, you're just one-upping each other, But anyway, it's time to do a little information gathering. So we're back in Med Lab, and this is where we're able to find out that, someone needs to occupy the machine, basically. He doesn't conclusively say it by the end. He does kind of go to sleep again, kind of. Or maybe, because he did seem to be partially awake, it's almost as if he can't ask somebody to do it. They have to offer or volunteer. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that's the rules, but that's what I'm gathering from it, because he's presenting the situation that, this is going to continue along this path as long as the machine's not occupied. I can't do it anymore. Stephen's saying he's dying, in fact, so, Commander Sinclair knows that, all right, basically this great machine needs someone to be running it or be integrated with it,
Yeah. I can't convey the amount of suspense, excitement during the first airing of this episode. In a way, this is a culmination of like the entire season, and we were just riveted with every second on screen. But the episode couldn't go by fast enough. We're like, and every time there was a commercial, it was sheer agony. And even the wait of the previous week, having to wait and see who came through the jump gate, it was just, see, a lot of people don't have those wait times anymore, you know.
No.
But this episode was such a banger. You know, we were taping it on VHS and watching it immediately again right after, and everyone's calling and emailing your friends. Did you see it? It was just
and then lines like this, it's not for your time, you know, that indicates, oh man, you know, what does that mean? But basically
it's made later, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
You're not ready.
And you mentioned this after one of our streams, Phobos, about Epsilon 3 and who made it. And it was one thing that they didn't want to answer, basically.
Yeah, he kind of answered. The implication was it was Lorian's people, but because who else was there?
Without generation. False. Yeah,
basically. I mean, the implication would almost be that it was made by someone with foreknowledge, because otherwise, if it's not made for now, you know, when is it made for? Is it made for a specific time? And how did they know 500 years ago to make it then? So it's an interesting, it's an interesting question, isn't it?
It's almost like they made a really powerful AI, but you need to have a human integrated to be able to be there as like the sentient and sapient life to operate it, or to integrate with it. And without that, they felt like, no, it's got to be destroyed. If you don't have that balance there, it needs to destroy it.
Without that, it goes crazy. I mean,
well, the Great Machine is the only element of the entire story that sort of has a Deus Ex Machina effect without really an explanation. So I kind of felt it was really important, you know, just to know. Otherwise, you know, what's to stop them from, you know, not make, because like Star Trek, that's the problem. All their crap might as well be magic. There's no reason or explanation for it or anything. But I can accept the machine. We've seen, you know, aliens with tremendous power that don't exactly exist in linear time. So, I mean, honestly, any of the elder races may have been capable of making it. But I did love, like, the thing I didn't expect is Varn's people coming back. Like that was an unexpected plot twist that made this episode all the more interesting. Like, no, I cannot convey enough how amazing it was to watch this show as it was coming out. There had been nothing on television like it. It was the first show to really be almost like 100% CGI. Foundation Imaging was doing this at the time on what we would think of as calculators now, man. Just these, you know, there were high-end machines at the time, and there were a lot of them, but this show was groundbreaking in so many ways, and there's a reason why its fans are so much more fanatical and possibly disturbing than like the only people that are more weird about their fandom are fans of Twilight, and that's a different way entirely.
Disturbing or disturbed?
Oh, well, in any case, here he does say fail safe. So to me, it feels like the Great Machine is something that was created that if it didn't have some biological life guiding it, the creators felt, well, it shouldn't exist without that. It's almost like maybe it just needs a conscience. And since we'll see now, it'll be made conclusive that the reason why Molari, Sinclair, and Draal were people contacted is because they were people, for all their faults, especially with Molari, as people that would have felt there's a purpose greater than themselves that they would sacrifice for. Sinclair's looking for one, but you could see, you know, his responsibility toward the station he thinks is maximal. And then Molari. Go ahead.
What was the first question that Draal asked Delenn? when he
Yeah.
appeared.
Exactly. That's something he was thinking about. That's exactly his purpose right now. But all three of these characters did have that. Now, you know, so basically it was looking for who is willing to serve something else. And so,
Yeah, even Londo in his own way. Actually, he lived an entire life of sacrifice, as misguided as it may have been. Like, you can't really call the guy selfish. You can call him misguided, but you know, possibly I don't know if Jakar or Molari, you know, some of those two make up like the greatest characters in science fiction of all time. They really are magnificent.
yeah, I guess we can just sum it up as Lav sums it up here. B5 is excellent. All right, so we move on here. Basically, at this point, you know, Sinclair's like, "How do we stop it?" And this is where the guy kind of, I mean, you see him kind of be somewhat aware there's movements, but you get the idea is, oh, is he just falling asleep again? Is it going unconscious? What's up? But you see some movements. I think it's because he has some sort of rule where he cannot ask someone to do it; they have to volunteer.
Oh, I think it's he doesn't have a nose. Give the guy a nose. He'll feel a lot better.
Okay, well, that's another possibility. But he lasted 500 years. We do hear that. So he was around at the same time these other guys were, but these other people, he says, are outcasts. Basically, like the machine already refuses them. It doesn't want to work with those people. So you get the idea that they're just bad actors. These aliens coming in, and this Varn, even though they look similar, is a different breed, at least mentally. And so Sinclair's trying to figure this out. And basically, what's the prognosis? He's dying.
Hey, Jill.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. We really needed your medical degree for that. Jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't include all the dialogue.
I know. I'm making fun of the doctor mostly because you know, a great character, but he is so irritating so much of the time when he's. But again, man, everybody has their chance to shine in the show with phenomenal character arcs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Every time we do one of these things, I just get so sad for the sorry state of entertainment, what our current offerings are. It's just pitiful.
Well, the thing I'm also noticing is I'm really thinking a lot of it may be AI written, because I was involved in a project where it was about actually voice and studying voice. So I was reading these scripts that were AI generated stories, but it wasn't about the stories. That was a way just to get voice actors to do acting. And so I was doing that, but the stories were just so much of the vocabulary, everything being so samey, and then writing where it's like, it just, this happens and this happens and this happens, this happens. And it's like, even the mysteries where it's like, gee, don't you know how to write a mystery?
Yeah, I can see AI being incapable of like doing a setup payoff structure.
Yeah.
And also what I can see are some of these Hollywood douchebags going, I'll write it in AI and I'll change this word and no one will have a clue that it's AI because I changed, you know, extra digitate to, you know, finger. And I can see that these people they really like to believe in their own intellect. But if you look at the examples they give us, but on the other hand, I like to think AI would do a better job of writing than the stuff that we're getting.
I've come to conclusion for recently for a lot of things when you hear people making when they're making complaints about modern shows, whether for the shows or not, the complaints still seem to be valid. I don't think these writers are capable of thinking through more than one or two stages.
Oh no, they
No.
can't even think from the beginning of a scene to the end of the scene.
Yeah.
It's just like, wouldn't it be like it has to be their singular thought process is, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, the guy's head exploded? Then wouldn't it be cool if he turned the banana into a laser gun? Like it's it's but yeah, like Starfleet Academy is a great example of no coherency just from scene to scene. A person is acting one way, then the next scene is they're a completely different character, and either all of the characters act with the same and speak and think with the same voice, or they're just randomized.
Oh, they can't think through. Okay, so this character's a hologram. Okay, so A, why then does she need to breathe? B, why does she need to eat? C, why can't they just program her because she's just a computer program? But they don't seem to be able to think, follow logic from one point to the next.
Yeah, it was just all right. We're going to make this character a hologram, and you know,
Wouldn't it be cool if she was a hologram, but otherwise did everything exactly like a human? Then what's the point of making her a hologram?
Yeah,
that's
Well, anyway,
but let's not get off onto that garbage nonsense. Yeah,
he told us nothing more than he told you. Basically, they were able to have a chat here, and basically Sinclair finds out that you know, okay, so you guys received some communication too, and they noticed from Sinclair's face that he did as well. But basically, they were talking about Varn here. But then, as you know, Draal mentions that he felt like communication from this Varn calling me, then he makes this face very subtle, a very subtle face, and that's when he's like, "Oh, so he communicated with you too." And so, you know, cool stuff like that, little things like that, where the actor doesn't make it obvious, just a slight adjustment of facial expression communicates, you know, to the other character. But anyway, we've got 8 hours basically, because that's when it's basically going to explode. And so they're trying to figure it out, but they're piecing it together. At least the Minbari do kind of piece together that they're going to have to take action. But what does Varn mean by another? Like, I guess that's it. Varn can't ask for someone to take over. He just has to drop the hints and have them figure it out. But I think that's it, because if you think about it, it's the right person would be somebody who would just volunteer. They would see it as their calling.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
do the service. So if you ask somebody, then you're obviously, it's the wrong person, because they wouldn't need to be asked. Okay, so don't you yeah. But anyway, what's going on here? We do have something later, some good, interesting stuff that Delenn mentions about, you know, something like why she didn't tell Sinclair about this. But here, they find out another has been contacted, Molari, and then the three of them basically decide they're going to do something. Molari's too curious. He's got to know what's going on down there, and these guys are saying, well, this is what we learned so far, so we're thinking we're going to go down there. And Molari's like, well, no, they say that later. It's in another meeting. But you get the idea that, you know, that the three of them, or at least Draal and Molari, were contacted for some reason. Okay, moving on. What do we have here? What the hell have you been? Where the hell have you been, man? It's like, he's trying to, he's trying to figure out stuff. Sinclair's trying to figure out stuff. And you wouldn't like him either in Deep Space Nine. He's giving Worf a really hard time. All right, so, but basically the idea is, it's like the planning should be done with me. We should be doing something here. We need to gather our forces together, combine them basically, and we can take this guy. Oh, so you realize you can't do it on your own. But Sinclair does say, okay, at this point, I see nothing else, no other alternative, basically. Because he also knows if those alien dudes go down there, he knows now that they will trigger an explosion right away. So they can't have that. Ooh, who do we have here? Ooh, Dutch Gradient. Is that a real? Hello. Dutch Gradient says hello. Hello, Dutch Gradient. So that would not to be confused with a Dutch angle. Okay. He doesn't see any other choice, so that's what we'll have to do as a last resort, I guess, according to Sinclair. But the other guy seems to be ready to take action. But anyway, they're meeting in, I guess, what is this called? The Zen Garden? Or that's a special section. But
Yeah,
this
that
is there.
it looks like the garden.
Yeah. This is where often people come to think and ponder things. So they're there. The Minbari like it. They're hanging out and they're basically discussing it with Londo, and we find out basically, you know, why they're all kind of connected. You know, they do want to serve something. And for Londo, he's like, hasn't been able to really take action or do anything for a long time. All he's involved in is politics. But he used to be quite a pilot back in the day. And so, in this desire to do something and go down there and see if they can figure out the situation, Londo's willing to be the pilot. And Delenn's just going to go along because she's with. What's his name? Draal, and Draal wants to go down because of his calling. And but basically, there's one warning at the end here that Delenn says, "Are you sure? Are you prepared for this?" And Londo knows even more than she said. He says, "Of course I do, because I know that basically one of us will not return." Yes.
This is
And
one of Londo's finest hours in the show.
oh yeah,
It really
Yeah.
is.
that
And
much
you're already
so.
seeing him. Like, you know, he was kind of the good guy at the beginning of season 1, but a bit of a clown. So you get to see that he actually really did stuff. He certainly exaggerates and blusters, but it's not all exaggeration and all bluster. And
Yeah.
he
Well, he's-
often does what's required of him, even, you know, the reason why his character arc is so impactful and somewhat frightening is that, you know, he never just said, "Oh, I'm going to be a bad guy." It's all every choice he makes to where he's getting to is pretty understandable.
Yeah, I mean, he is an example of what it means to be brought, what it used to mean in certain old world countries where you were brought up believing in your duty to serve your people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is for as you said, for all that he's coming at it from an angle that we see as misguided, as Esther said, he's a patriot and he wants to serve his people.
Yes, or in this case, it's not even just his people; it's really the situation and
Yeah.
the station being at risk. And this is his chance to take action rather than just a political action. There we go. Dutch gradient means Dutch angle. That's right. As soon as you say gradient to me, I'm thinking, you know, graphic design, one color fading into another.
Yeah. But yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I didn't realize that until he pointed it out.
Yeah. And as we go on here, that much is certain from Draal, because he knows at least we're being called here. You know, that's what this is about. And basically, yeah, this is where he says, as a young and foolish Centauri, you know, he basically talks about I wanted to die on my legs. And still the same thing today, really. Doing something noble.
Brave.
Yeah, great.
And futile, which is, you know, very Centauri and also very Russian of him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know the story behind Dutch Gradient, but I wasn't going to dox him, so I didn't want to say anything. But now that he publicly has come out, yeah, he has a cool logo, and he needed something for it to mean, so he came up with Dutch Angle, essentially, which is
It's cool.
It does occur to me though that with this, that given what television was up until basically, I think, oh, one about the Game of Thrones. There probably wasn't a massive amount of tension about the audience here because you've got 3 people going down, 2 of whom are not only cast regulars, they're in the pre-credits titles, and one is a guest star. So there's probably not that much of a tension about which one it is it's going to be to go, because you didn't. It would have been very, very rare for a major cast member to be written out, whereas after
Well,
Game of
you
Thrones,
don't even know at
it's
this point if
changing.
they'd be written out because who knows? Maybe this machine is going to be part of the stories coming up, and it's just a
Yeah, true. It's
relocation,
true. Yeah, it's
and
true.
that's
Yeah.
what it became. But the whole point is it's still unfolding, and you just into the story, and it's like, oh,
Oh,
cool,
yeah, definitely.
Molari, he gets to do something other than and be an ambassador. And then here he's saying, he's realizing now that perhaps that dream wasn't as foolish as I
Yeah.
thought. And then here, of course, the best thing, it is better than, just waiting for the inevitable. It's like we're going to end it sometimes, folks. How do you want to end? Just wait for it and just wither away? Or do you want to actually have a chance for your death to mean something? Or in this case, it may not even be death for sure, but that's what I think Malari is thinking. That it was probably be a death, but, or at least, you know, a long commitment. We will go together. All right. There we go. And we switch back now to another thing going on here. What is this? Garibaldi is radioing into CNC. Somebody just grabbed the patient. Varn? Who took Varn? Someone stole Varn. Well, basically, he's saying how they kind of like duped his security force and um, they got the patient and left. And now Corwin's saying, hey, guess what? There's like a ship going on here. And this guy's pissed because what's this ship going down to the planet? You've violated our agreement. Prepare to die, or something like that, you know? And what is this? And we stop your people. Yeah, this guy, he needed to do further scans for the language. The transport's heading to the planet. So, as we know, as the audience, this is, and especially looking at the design of the ship, it's a Centauri ship. There's Molari in his vessel. It's got the purple going on, looks crest-like, It's a Centauri ship heading down there. And then here's the aliens firing at it. And this is, and he just notices they've opened fire. They're targeting my ship. Is it your ship? It's not your ship. They're targeting my ship. Oh, I guess his ships as well. All right. So his ships are involved in it, and so is the Centauri vessel. They're targeting it, and so it's time for Sinclair to join up and let's take on these aliens. So they feel they got to. So launch fighters and close those blast doors, and basically it does engage in a full featured space battle thing going on. Slides don't do that justice, so I have a few here and there, but not much. It's definitely worth checking out, folks, if you haven't already.
Yeah, one of the weird things is, during the time of the show, they're very proud of the how they made the ship, and they communicated with their fan base. And one of the things they would always tell is specifically like how many effect shots were in a coming episode, what they entailed and stuff like this. But for this episode, which is very effects heavy, they don't mention the actual number of effect shots in it. I just thought that was odd.
I do hope you got a screen clip of Londo's comment.
Yeah,
I really do.
My God, whoever's piloting that shuttle is a madman. I can't talk like her.
Yeah, it's like whoever's piloting that shuttle is a madman. And I do have a little bit of Londo coming up. Well, there he
good.
is piloting the thing. You see his face, so you know for sure now that shuttle is piloted by Londo Molari, and he is giving some rather interesting faces. And we do have here his passengers looking all nervous. I do have a video clip of him, but that's coming up after. I think there was a commercial break, and I used it as a time to basically go to another slide deck. Uh, but yeah,
So
it's action
that's
packed.
that's a very, very old joke of mine there. Fire at will. Which one's Will?
And there they are,
Wait, what
firing
did
at
Will
Will,
do?
pretty much. Poor Will.
Yeah, especially in a show that has Billy Mummy on it. So, like, it's like, why is everybody shooting
Yeah.
at me all the time?
Oh, so tell me, does anybody else spend 5 years wanting Lanier to be attacked by someone called William Robinson just so someone could shout to him, "Danger, Will Robinson"?
Here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Jesus as you know. All right. Well, anyway, this is where the shuttles have been fired at in the past, and it's letting them in. And so that's a clue there. Okay.
Coming out. Sorry, we watched too much Brown.
Too much brown. Yeah. It's the only time you even read the subtitles, huh? Just to point that out. Okay. All right. Garibaldi's gonna help though. He's going to the rescue. He's like, I'm gonna be in pursuit. And they're like, Garibaldi, what are you doing? Get out of there. And he's like, oh, I got to do something. Come on, Jeff. I got to do something. I can't just sit here and think about Lease Hampton. So he's heading out. But basically, they're going to do some cover fire to make sure he gets through. So Garibaldi's after Molari. And Molari is, oh, yeah. Who said the good old days are gone? I don't know. I don't feel them coming back anytime soon, but there's always hope. All right, so Garibaldi's following him down, and also, sorry, my screen grabs can't do justice to it. And then we get all sorts of displays. That's Garibaldi's display and following, and they're cool displays. And what do we have here? I guess that's the Hyperion. Man, the shots move quickly and they're kind of brief, but I did the best I could. There we are. And this is the alien vessel, Hyperion, all of them. So you get a feeling of where things are at. So anyway, they do land, but I
You
did have a
missed
video
it.
clip. No, I have it. I have it.
No,
Hold
no,
on.
no. Oh, you have. Okay, good. I was saying.
I realized
No,
it looks like I must have cut out
no.
my cue frame, but right around here. I did get
Yeah.
a video here. Let's do this. Is this
was gonna
what you're
say, I
talking
hope
about? I have a feeling this is what you're talking about. Basically, he's doing all the fancy piloting, but he does realize at one point.
Who said the good old days are gone, eh?
Oh, landing thrusters. Landing thrusters. If I were a landing thruster, which one of these would I be?
Here we go.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh,
Which one of these would I be? I guess the red one. All right, so they made it, and here we are back on Forbidden Planet, and walking. It looks like, what is it, Baldur's Gate, and your party is about to rush it. All right, so anyway, there's still blasting and stuff going on outside. There's quaking going on. It's not Earth, so it's an Epsilon quake. And, the three of them are in there. Garibaldi meets them there and says, hey, what are you guys doing here? I thought it was, oh no, just some petty thievery going on, but it's you guys. What are you doing here? and they're like saying, "Hey, look at this situation. It's deteriorating, and we're not going to last long." And that's when it comes out. I need to occupy the great machine is basically what Draal says here. And, first things first, I think it was, what's his name? Varn goes in the machine, makes the atmosphere breathable. That's why they're not wearing masks anymore. But I cut that out. So anyway, this is where it comes to fruition. Draw is going to take the machine, but intensity. It's racing at this point because of the battle out in space and everything. You're wondering what's going on, and these guys are in a hurry because there's a quake down there. And Drawl comes to the realization this is what he was born for. Kind of like the line that Garibaldi says in some visions. This is the moment I was born for. And that's the moment that, Sinclair is looking for. This is also, something later when Sinclair makes another crucial decision in season 3, or is it season 4? Whatever. I think it was 3 or
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
I just think he always said, I wish I looked like John Shuck. So I can
Yeah.
myself. It's cheaper than plastic surgery.
So, yeah. Oh, man, what's happening? On Bridge, he takes over the holographic system, basically. Well, they have a holographic system that comes up later. Basically, from Epsilon 3, the Great Machine, you can broadcast yourself to appear and tell people what you think of them. But anyway, he's saying, I have now occupied the Great Machine, and this planet is not for anybody. It, doesn't belong to anyone. So nobody come here. We will reach out to you when the time comes. But he makes another line about enlightened self-interest, which is something that the show does mention from time to time. And it's
That's a quote from E. Doc Smith.
okay.
The,
Do you want to?
the principle of enlightened self-interest. That's in one of E. Doc Smith's books. Whether
Okay.
he got it from somewhere else or he coined it, I don't know.
I don't know. It's something I haven't heard often, and I mostly remember from this show. But if you think about it, it is. I mean, it's an important concept because here they are talking about service, serving some cause greater than yourself, but it doesn't mean the self is erased. Enlightened self-interest means, doing things that may be good for yourself, but, doesn't violate others, and at the
Yeah.
same time may also be good for others as well. It's to say that, to make it clear that making individual decisions that benefit yourself aren't necessarily wrong. It's
The
if they're
phrase
done
itself
enlightened.
was actually coined by the French philosopher Alexis de Tocqueville. He's at least credited with it in his, I'm just going to say the American word. I'm not even going to try to say French. Democracy in America was
that's the book. Yeah.
And he used the phrase to describe how Americans align personal gains with broader community well-being.
Well, a lot of them do, and at that time, I guess that was basically the American spirit. It's and it's great to see that when it still persists today.
Yeah, he said it's a way to balance individualism, which was distinctly American at the time, with civic virtues. So,
I think you got off access from your mic there. That sounded underwater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still underwater?
No, you're good now.
Oh, I haven't moved, but that's weird. It might be anyway. At the time, that was sort of one of the qualities associated with America was that rugged individualism, and his articulation of it, kind of like Adam Smith's Invisible Hand. I'm sure as a concept, people had thought about it before, but the official coining of that phrase, anyway, is credited to him for whatever reason.
Yeah, where basically, I guess it's one of those things that serve your interest, but without doing harm. And,
I think what's
thing related
really
to natural law. Yeah, go ahead.
I think what's really notable these days is how many people are exhibiting the exact opposite of that, whether it's enlightened or unenlightened, like the opposite of self-interest, sort of enlightened self-destruction almost. It's frustrating to see.
And it says here, we'll rely on your guidance and the council's enlightened self-interest, meaning the advisory council, the Babylon 5 advisory council. So and that's something that Jakar uses later in his, when we get there.
I love the look on his face here. He was often described as too wooden at the time. I just think he has a very subtle way of acting with his eyes.
Yeah.
And I never found him wooden at all. I thought he was perfect casting.
No, I mean, he is in the military and he is in a position of authority. So there's a certain amount of decorum you got to have.
Yeah, when this show came out, it really was, for the first season at least, a critic's punching bag. And I wonder if that had something to do with the whole DS9 rivalry, and maybe there was some encouragement from the Hollywood elite. I don't know, but
yeah. Although Hollywood elite, it's like, by that time, were they accepting even Star Trek? I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit. Remember this? It's funny because this was Paramount's attempt to create their own network. The show lasted longer than it did. It was P10, the Paramount Entertainment Network. I don't know if any of the old people remember that, but you figure Star Trek was still owned by Paramount, so the rights got all screwed up with Star Trek. But I wonder. Certainly, none of the other networks, wanted to have more competition at the time, so they were hoping that would fail.
All right, some code here from Flav *S.
I think he means which ones instead of which one when he asked Archer Collin which ones.
Masters of
The
Space.
first ones.
Masters of Space, which is the one that mentions the principle of enlightened self-interest, and Subspace Explorers.
Okay.
To Flav's question. That are two Smith books I read recently.
That you said Doc Smith?
Yeah,
E.E. Doc Smith, the father of the space opera.
Edward Elmer Smith wrote the Lensman series and the Skylark series.
Okay. There you go, folks. That's why I have these guys on board.
Oh yeah, he was truly like the golden age of sci-fi, and one of a very prolific, and back in the day, all those guys knew each other. Asimov, Heinlein, they were like friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I've said, I mean, if you look at Heinlein, you look at, I've said a number of times, you look at the Lensman series. I'm sorry. Okay, now I know where the Vorlons and the Shadows came from.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much.
The Ledorians.
Yep.
The Lensman series. I'll have to check that out, because the Vorlons and the Shadows, that really, especially when we see more about the Vorlons in time coming up and stuff like that really interests me.
He started it was late 1930s, 1937 or 38, and
was it really that late? Blimey.
Yeah, basically there were two almost omnipotently powerful races that were almost beings of pure energy that could see through time. They're each confined to their own galaxy, and there was a point when one galaxy was moving through another, and the Eurasians needed to come up. They realized that they were absolute equals to the Adorians. Like, neither of them could defeat each other, but they wanted to protect the galaxy. The Adorians were pretty much the Shadows, but maybe worse.
Yeah.
So they come up with a plan to actually create a race of beings more powerful than either of them, so they could purge the galaxy of the Adorians. But they have to do so in a way that's so subtle that the Adorians can never be allowed to know or notice because they could counter it if they were ever fully aware of the plan.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow. All right.
Kind of similar to the Ancients in the Stargate series as well.
Yeah.
The Ori and the Ancients. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff, especially, I mean, 1930s. Like, not many people were thinking of science fiction on that level. It was more landing on the moon and making cheese sandwiches.
Like, I think we were talking about this last week, weren't we, Lawrence? I think I meant when you were talking about and I was saying there's I learned curiously enough the second Lensman book, which is called First Lensman. The climax of that is an election in North America, and that's brought me mind a couple of times recently, that particular part of the book. They're talking about fixing elections. Are we allowed to say that? Because we're talking about the book, not reality.
I guess, yeah. Well, I mean, either way, it's one of those things where it's like, it's messy and stuff, but it's like, I think no matter what side of the spectrum folks are on, they feel that the other side definitely could be doing some nasty stuff. And so the thing is, well, how about the concept that maybe both sides are doing nasty stuff?
Well, imagine that. We can't
All right,
have
but
that.
anyway, this planet is going to keep themselves safe, at least, because you guys aren't going to come here. You're not going to mess with us. We're like Europa. Attempt no landing there, and until the time is right.
I saw that recently as well. Actually, 2010.
That's cool. Yeah, that movie, 2010, it doesn't stop. I mean, right from the beginning, it maintains your interest. There's no lulls. But it does it in a good way. It's not like it's overly intense. It just keeps.
Yeah, I was going to say Starfleet Academy doesn't stop either, but that's not a good thing.
And then we have here, if enlightened self-interest should prove insufficient to the cause, that means, like, if you don't know better, understand this. Yes. The defensive systems on this world are now fully operational. So basically, a lot of great lines here, but I am going to probably move through them faster than I had planned because I know we've been taking some time here. Good stuff, though. I've enjoyed myself tonight. The enemy ship is headed for the planet. Oh, you mean these guys aren't enlightened? They head towards the planet. Even Pierce isn't doing it, and so the planet sends out a ray, kind of similar. I like the concept. It's a different color, but similar to how the Shadows weapons work. They're like almost like real lasers where, it just goes on indefinitely.
Yeah, like the
Minbari,
Minbari, the cutting beams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Minbari too. Slicing. It's not like a wad of energy.
It's a giant lightsaber.
Yeah. But anyway, Delenn, we're finished here. We should go. And so, but she needs to say goodbye to her mentor. And basically, you will take care of him. And the guy's like, well, for the days I have left to me, yeah. But the machine will extend his life. So basically, the Draal could last another 500 years there. And, what is this? Very soon. We should know very soon if it accepts him. I guess it could still reject him at this point, but Delenn doesn't think so. How could it not accept him? But anyway, she basically says some wonderful parting words and all that. And she wants to know, what's he going to be experiencing in it. He's saying it's a wonder. It's, it will extend his life, and you don't need to worry about him in any way. he will see all the tomorrows and hear all the songs. I like this line here, hear all the songs, because, what's his name? Chief Furlan, Kosh, he says this a lot. It's like, pay attention to the song, not the music, or something like that. Or pay attention to the music, not the song. It's this idea that it's almost like music, life goes forward, and what you experience can be likened to music in a way. I guess it has its tensions, its releases, it has its harmonies, it has its dissonances. Living life is almost like experience that is, musical. And I see the parallels between life and music quite frequently as a composer. And I just find it to be, poetic and everything. So, I don't know. So basically, he will be seeing visions well beyond, just Epsilon 3. It'll be throughout the galaxy. And then my thoughts will ever be with him. Oops. Oops. Well, we were at the end of that slide bank anyway. I just have one more, which is a couple in it, because we're at our end here of the episode. Oh, man. Let me do this. Pick you up and pick you up. And then, yes, another quick commercial break. So anyway, it's apology time. And so there's apologies all around. Yeah, you're really in charge here. That's fine. We'll
apology accepted. Have a safe trip. Bye.
Yeah.
Don't hit your
Don't
ass with the door on the way out.
And the Hyperion gets to go away. Now, do we see any ships like this in the future, with especially the season 4?
Yeah, I think there are a few in there. Honestly, especially with the battles around the the two smaller systems that broke away, where there's like just a boatload of ships. Yeah. My guess is they're not going to waste models. It takes significant effort into rigging and texturing these things. So
yeah,
maybe they got upgraded.
And later we get to see another form of Earth ship, the Deep Space Explorer. That'll be in season 2 coming up shortly, with a guy that calls, well, I forget what his name is, but he calls Sheridan Swamp Rat. Well, anyway. What do we have here? We finally got a secure line to the Mars colony. And so, Ivanova announces it, but she basically says, all right, there's some things you should know about it. And she relays that information to Sinclair, who just offers to be there for Garibaldi after the conversation. If you should need to talk, I'll be here. And so he gets to talk to Elise finally. And they use the same actress in the future when she does other appearances.
Yay, that doesn't always happen.
No.
It looks like, according to B5 Tech, there are 9 other episodes in which the heavy cruiser is present, all the way from, a bunch of season 3 and 4 episodes.
Yeah, each time I find something new, and so it's like that's something I'm going to look for now. Whenever I watch future episodes, I need to see this heavy cruiser.
Yeah, like it took me a while to figure out the flying saucer ship. That's a Vree, and I just always liked how it moved and how it was lit. There's several websites that are all about B5 technology, but the answers aren't always canonical. Some are drawn from the novels. They have had some sort of nerdy technical books published and websites, and like somebody did a survey of Earth ships just based on the serial registrations and came up with the idea there were like 20,000 Earth capital ships. It seems a lot and not realistic, but I guess their registration numbers went up to almost 20,000. So
the Dresden Files. I guess that would be a World War II related series.
No, it's a book. It's an urban fantasy book. Nothing to do with his name is Dresden.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he just had a new book out. I found it a little underwhelming and way too short, considering he's taken about 5 years between books now. So,
Okay. Well, I need to do some more reading shortly. And so I'll probably check out that Landsman because that does intrigue me, the concept there. Maybe
yeah, those books
sometime,
are short too. They are not long at all. You can
maybe
eat
sometime we
one
should
in a
do
day.
that. A little bit of, reading and maybe like short stories, and then have episodes on some short stories here and there, especially since they're standalone.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, we always do. We talk about what to cover. Like there's so much stuff. It's
yeah, I could come up with some great AI slides for visual material. Oh man, yeah, I saw Movie Cynic's review of War of the Worlds, the new Amazon one. I saw his review of it last night. That's like, man, that was hilarious.
wait, War of the World?
Yeah.
That's a masterpiece, man. That was like
No,
the
no, no, the
greatest movie of last.
Amazon.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It was the greatest movie of last year. Like you couldn't. It was like the ultimate. A train hitting a car, hitting an airplane, hitting an ambulance. You couldn't look away. It was a nonstop roller coaster ride from yes, it was hideously bad, but in the best possible way.
well, I think he said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
No.
hilarious because
Yeah, it
of,
was deliciously awful. A 2 hour long Amazon commercial, but with aliens who ate your flash drives. It was so funny.
Make your day
and Amazon product placement everywhere. Wow. Oh, wow. But anyway, Garibaldi here.
I say.
Unfortunately, he doesn't take the hint and stop. He basically pours his guts out, and after doing so, that's when she tells him, "I'm married."
Ouch.
And then, to make matters worse, his name is Franz.
Come and look at what actually happened to the kid.
What kid?
The baby she's expecting.
Oh, it was taken away. She says that when
Oh,
Garibaldi
does she? Right.
does a little bit of rescue in the future.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. It does mention it. Tax. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah.
The husband, Franz, I guess, took the kid away, and she wasn't
Oh.
able to see the kid.
Right. Thanks. Yeah. So
Those divorce courts on Mars are a little different.
Well, I mean, especially if Frances are Mars born and she's Earth born, I can see that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She did say that. She did say that Mars courts lean towards, Mars born. So anyway, right. So Garibaldi's like, yeah, all right, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, talk about good face acting though. Look at that face. Like he's been punched right in the gut, but he's trying to put on a brave face.
Yeah. I'm glad
But anyway,
for you. Not.
Well, he's got to do some thinking too, just like Delenn. And basically, they're talking about how quiet the place is, and you can really do some thinking. And then he's basically has a question for her. It's like, why did you guys go down without letting any of us know, and so forth? And she said that, well, she knew that Sinclair would want to be there. He would want to take the position because he's searching for meaning in his life. He's looking for a purpose, and but his purpose is elsewhere. So there we go. We get another clue that she kind of has some idea. I don't know if she knows entirely, but she has an idea of where he might be going in the future. Okay, and what about Londo? How'd you get him to come along? And basically, she's like, well, I'll do him a favor in the future, but, he discovered something in himself that he thought was lost, but It's still there, I guess. Yeah, and that some things don't get lost. So, are you getting ready for camping there, Colin?
Oh,
Sounds like
sorry.
you're getting your thermos
No, but
there.
guys, I got to get to bed.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I thought
I
I'd
stayed a
muted
little
myself.
later tonight, but
Yeah, we're going to end now, but if you need to go right now, go ahead. We don't want you
yeah,
falling
I
over.
do. Hey, you have a good trip.
Yes.
Let us know if you're doing Sunday, but
Yeah, Sunday I am going to do something because we'll be back in time, but do watch the posts section. If you don't see anything happening, I mean, warning, it might be not until late Saturday night that I actually post, schedule the videos. So it
fair
may
enough.
not happen, but I'm planning on it because we should be back by that time. And what we'll do is, I'm going to make something for Sunday on Monday or Tuesday. And I guess we'll do that decision making now. Why not? What should we do, folks? I'm going to put up a poll. Here's some
Oh no.
options. I'm
Well,
going to
I'm gonna.
actually make one of the options like showing some footage from our trip. That'll be an option. But
Oh, well, I'm going to go in the chat before I get off here, and I'll vote. And thank you, Archer, for subbing. I just saw that.
Hey, you're welcome, mate. Like
Appreciate
I said,
it.
I look forward to listening to
Absolutely.
the music, buddy.
Sounds good, man. Well, I'll vote before I go off, but y'all have a good night.
all right. Take care, folks. Now, if you want, we will be coming back to Babylon 5, of course. We're going to continue that forever. But if you need a little space, we could go back to UFO. We could go back to. Does somebody want to offer another option other than Space 1999, or is that something you'd like to return to as well?
Pixum! Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry.
I
Fogging my
have
throat.
no idea what you were trying
Blake
to.
7.
Blake 7.
So, no. Just a cough in my throat. That's right.
Yeah, never bring up Blake 7 to a Brit. They are insufferable about that show.
Well, how do you feel about it? I haven't
Oh.
seen it, but I'm willing to. No problem.
Yeah. No, it's a very good show. I understand, but I think it's not without its issues, and I think some people are just blind to that. So.
Oh, it definitely has its issues. Absolutely.
Yeah. But honestly, I actually know that another channel kind of that is going to start doing a weekly B5 walkthrough starting in March. That's, kind of a lot of crossover between this channel and Brown. Like there's a lot of, and say it's a friendly channel, but I think they're going to start doing a weekly B5 thing. So that may factor into your decision to either accelerate, do more or less, or not at all. I don't know.
No, it's, not at all is not an option. I'm going to continue it. Yeah. So maybe we could definitely keep doing the next episode of B5. I mean, it's up to our audience. How about that? And then, the footage from the CBG festival will be covered at some point. No problem. Maybe on a Friday or something like that. So none of these things are like, if you don't vote for it, won't happen. But if people feel fine with us continuing with B5 on Sundays, we can do it.
Yeah, I think there's room for 100 different B5 streams on YouTube. I'd want to watch all of them. So
okay, so let's start the poll. Let's see what
I probably wouldn't be serious pushing Blake 7 on the grounds that it's four seasons, short seasons, admittedly, but it's still quite a bit, especially when we're covering other things as well. So I would probably put that on a suggested back burner.
Yeah. Plus, the whole trip footage, that will be something where we're definitely going to record some things, but we got to see if it'll, be showable and things like that. So I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know which one to vote for.
Well, I mean, we'll do that. Maybe we should do that on a Friday, but we'll see what our audience says. Yeah, looks like Babylon 5 is something folks would like us to continue, and you know what? We might as well. I mean, I was just thinking at first, we should mix it up with other things so that people don't just get tired of one thing. But you know, if they're not tired yet, let's keep going. We have season 1 to finish, so yeah. But maybe on one of the Friday shows we'll do our trip and stuff. But we will be uploading from the event next week. For those of you who don't know, my wife Liza and I are going on Friday to Brandington, Florida for the Brandington, Florida Cigar Box Guitar Festival. Steve Arvey, who's fairly big in the maker community of CBGs. And so we'll be doing some footage from there, uploading. I'll try to do some streaming. I don't know. I haven't done the cell phone stream before, but in any case, we will be sharing it all with you. So please do pay attention to our channels. But next Sunday, it looks like we'll just keep doing what we're doing. We got to finish off this season. And what is the next one do you believe we're going to show? I think it's the very next episode, right? We're not going to be skipping from here.
Yeah, we're doing all the rest of them to the end of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we have next then, just to be able to announce the name? I forget the name.
The next episode is Boomerang. Give me I'll have to actually look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, we'll give you a time to do that. But folks, Delenn wishes you all to sleep well.
Yeah, it's not like Star Trek where I have all of the titles memorized in order.
But she, after she sleeps well, or says to sleep well.
Oh, Babylon Squared. We get a Zathras episode.
Oh, yes!
Yeah!
Yes!
Ow!
Sorry.
Headphones.
Sorry.
Me too. I was excited too. Oh yeah, Babylon Squared.
Yeah,
oh man.
Then Quality of Mercy, and of course, Chrysalis is the last one.
Good grief.
Babylon Squared, yes, and that one. Oh man, that's that. There's going to be some discussion there because those of you who haven't seen the series or are just going through it now, like Mike, coming up, there will be, a future
confusion.
To Babylon Squared.
There will be confusion.
Confusion.
Yes.
Well, yeah, when they just see that, but later there'll be a connection to it.
Yeah, but let's face it, in a magnificent example of setup and payoff, that one takes a while to pay off.
Yeah. Takes a couple seasons to pay off. But everyone loves Zathras. What is this? Yeah, Space Rangers came out about the same time as DS9 and Babylon 5.
Actually, that is the one I was thinking about. Actually, if you're doing Space Rangers, I might also suggest a British TV show called Star Cops, which again was very short. It's about 6 episodes and is hard science fiction.
Well, we're all going to live well into our hundreds. So one of these days we're going to do that, Right now, I think our audience would really like to stick with Babylon 5 for a bit. Maybe take a break here and there, but I think we should keep as true to it as we can, I think.
Star Cops was 1987, so earlier.
Especially to finish off the season. Oh, someone else is moving in on Babylon 5. They don't think we're doing a good enough job, huh?
I don't really think they were aware of this whatsoever.
You mean someone's not aware of what we're doing? Imagine.
Yeah, it came up because we were talking about Starfleet Academy, and so somebody wanted good science fiction, and we just brought that up. And everybody, like, the tone of the panel and chat instantly changed when we started talking about something good. It was like, oh, Yeah, this is fun. We don't want to go back to Academy.
All
And,
right, folks. There definitely will be a CBG field trip videos coming out from our channels, and we probably will do a live stream, maybe on the Friday show with Mike and our music stuff. Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. That's midnight. Basically, same start time as our Sunday night, except we start right on time because we don't have to worry about Brown. But Sunday nights, I think we'll just pick up with Babylon 5 again. It'll be Babylon Squared. That's a great episode. Are you streaming this on Rumble as well, Lawrence? I am. We do stream on Rumble and Kick simultaneously with YouTube. It's just, of course, our audience needs to build in both of those places for it to. We do receive chats from there. So far on Kick, we just get bots, and I think in all our time we got one chat from Rumble. But hopefully, audiences can build there. We will see your chats come through if you go over there to Rumble. So yeah, I'm interested in building the Rumble thing too, because one cannot live on YouTube alone, and they are kind of dodgy. All right, there we go. That's the end of our episode. Another great shot at the end. But yes, next week we're going to do Babylon 5, Babylon Squared. All right, folks. Anybody have something to say before we call it a night? I think Liza probably got a phone call from Steve Harvey, and she is in the process of making a promo video for his festival. So it's important work stuff going on. No, I think we're all ready for bed, right? All right. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was just looking at Esther's avatar again for some reason. No, it's on a larger image.
All right, folks. Well, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time. If for some reason I can't do it, there will be a post announcing it, but I really want to do it because I don't want to drop a week, man. All right, folks. You all take care. And you all come back now, you hear?